Hello, my friends. Happy Tuesday, and we're going to do a mini training. This mini training, as a lot of my stuff, comes to you because one of my clients asked me this question earlier today, and I'm also going to be turning this into a blog post. So the question was, I was on the phone with a client, and she said to me, explain a little bit more about what you mean by having core confidence and really activating the core. And so I wrote out what that was for her, and then I realized, I need to do a video on this too. So I want to share this with everybody. When I talk about core confidence, the first thing that I want to describe is I really believe, because of the science that I have studied, that there is a neurologic connection from the brain connecting into the body. And in my opinion, it all originates, and what's really important is getting into your pelvis or getting into your core. And what I mean by core is the pelvic floor, is the lower abdomen, and then filtering up through that heart and filtering up through the throat so we can actually speak and act and live from day to day. So it's that mind-body connection. And when I say confidence and communicating with confidence, I'll describe a little bit more in a second, but communicating with confidence, what I mean is I'm not somebody who just walks around confident all the time. I don't expect you to do that. But when you are in alignment with your soul, with your truth, and not all up in your head where you're like, oh gosh, should I do this? Or let me do this for this person, or let me make sure that I take care of this for this other person. When we're all up here, we're not really living out our confidence. And we like to think that, especially if you're a helper or you're somebody who likes to fix problems, we like to think that that's getting a lot of things done and it's helping everybody by constantly thinking and taking responsibility for everybody else. But the truth is that it really is not. It creates this very unhealthy and unhelpful lack of boundaries and just lack of clear delineation from one person to the next. So I want to be able to help you with this. Okay, a lot of my clients come to me, and one of the main things that we keep talking about together is how they can communicate. So if they're dealing with a situation in their career or with work where they really need to show up differently, or they need to communicate differently so they can actually get a different response, then we talk about this. If I'm talking with somebody with their relationship with their partner, they might have an outburst or react and get upset or frustrated, and that might not go very well. Whereas when you are on the offensive and you are more calm and centered and grounded, what I call core confidence and being in your core, then you can really speak with truth and vulnerability. And vulnerability, what I'm talking about there, if you've read or watched Brene Brown, any of her information, that's what I'm talking about, that type of vulnerability, where we are being real and honest. So as an example, let's take a relationship example. If somebody's just getting reactive and frustrated and saying, you're not listening to me, you never listen to me, this isn't working, I don't really know how we're even able to do this, because something happens and a spark's ignited. So instead of that, let's say if I'm helping somebody and they're getting into their core and they're practicing that, we do that over the phone, and they're practicing that, they might then be able to say, what I really need to say is, I'm tired. I feel like I'm doing it all myself. I know that isn't true, but I'm taking on more than I should, and I really need help. Very different conversation, right? So and when we're all up here, we kind of stay in reactive or defensive mode. We need to get into the offensive mode, in my opinion. So what I want you to do, if you're watching the replay, this will be great because you can pause and you can, kind of journal or write a few things down. Or if you're watching this live, that's great too, because you can come back to this at any time. What I want you to do is find a place just to sit, okay? And I'm going to give you this real quick rundown of this, and this takes practice. I want to say this at first. It takes a lot of practice. So you're going to find a place to sit. I want your feet firmly on the ground. So I don't even know if I can show you all where I'm sitting right now. Feet on the ground. Ta-da, hello. Okay, so we want the feet firmly on the ground. And then I want your hands just resting comfortably in your lap or in your knees. Okay, I want you to go ahead and I want you to close your eyes as you're practicing this. So this would be getting into your core, so getting into the pelvis. So as you close your eyes, you're going to take a deep breath in, a nice slow deep breath in, and then you're going to exhale, and I want you to let your attention go all the way down through the abdomen into the pelvis. And I just want you to keep breathing, and as you breathe in, we're just taking a nice slow breath in, and as we breathe out, we're exhaling, keeping the awareness, bringing it back into the pelvis. Each and every exhale that you slowly do. And as you keep up this pace, I want you to feel your legs getting heavy, feeling the soles of the feet. You don't have to have bare feet, but if you do, that's fine, or in your shoes, feeling the soles of the feet touching either the shoes or touching the floor, and then really grounding you down, feeling like those feet and those legs are getting very heavy. I want you to feel the pelvis as you keep breathing in and out. Feel it actually there. Notice where you're sitting. Notice that that can get heavier, that the hips can become heavy. Feel the abdomen soften. As you exhale, we're just drawing the awareness down into the core, into the pelvis, letting the abdomen soften, paying attention to the back of the body, seeing if the back of the hips and the lower part of the back right above the hips can soften. Feel the shoulders softening, feel the chest and the heart opening. You're still with your eyes closed and you're just breathing in slowly, and every exhale, you're just bringing your attention down into the pelvis. Feeling the legs get heavy, the abdomen soften. So this is getting into the core. Then from here, keeping the awareness in the pelvic floor, in the pelvis, and around the hips, also now bring the awareness up to the heart. Feel the chest expanding. Feel your breathing. Feel the arms relaxing. And notice that this is a place of love and connection. So we can connect your truth in the pelvis with your heart, which is where you act out of love. And then keeping the attention on both of these areas, then bring your attention up through the throat. Feel the spine getting longer. Stay with a nice breath in through the nose slowly and out through the mouth. Just at your own pace. Then finally, bring the awareness into the head, where most of us keep our awareness all the time. Keep it very out of the body. And just notice how you are sitting right now. Notice that you're taking up space. When I practice, then once you get into this place, once you practice being in the core, then we want to practice speaking from the core. So what that might mean is me asking you a question, such as, what is it that you really need to say right now regarding the situation? Maybe it's about work. Maybe it's about a friend, something going on with a friend. Maybe it's something going on with your child or a coworker or your spouse or partner. What is it that you really need to say? We want to ask that question when we're in the pelvis, and once again, then filtering it through love. We're never filtering anything through anger, because I think most of us have tried that before, and when we're on the defensive, it doesn't really work, right? It doesn't really get anywhere. It just tends to lead to more mess. And then you filter that awareness through your throat so that you can actually speak and say what it is that you're really needing or feeling right now. So this is a practice that you can keep coming back to, just breathing in and out. As you get better at it, it can take a few seconds. It does not need to be a big, long to-do. It doesn't need, like, let's say you're about to go into a boardroom. You know, you're going to have to do this very quickly and no one's really going to need to know about it. But it is very, very vital, in my opinion, if you are trying to deal with conflict resolution, if you are trying to have a conversation that is more fruitful than the past conversations that you've had, it's really important to be in your core. Don't act from up here. It's really important to know your truth and to be that vulnerable, courageous piece of yourself that can speak what it is that you're really trying to say. Okay, so leave a comment. Let me know what this feels like to you to try to do this guided exercise, and share with me. If you want to do anything further and you want to explore this further, I always have a free 30-minute consultation with myself. You can go to drsarahsmith.com and you'll see, if you're on your laptop, there's a little thing that says book an appointment right up there. And if not, if you're on your phone, then you will find it. There's like a little three lines, and you'll find book an appointment there. But I love to hear from you. If you want, please get on my email list too. Follow me on YouTube, LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook. I'm everywhere. But I love talking to you guys, and thank you for tuning in on the live or the replay.